Good evening. You're watching live pictures coming to you from London, where a procession has begun, where the coffin carrying Queen Elizabeth II's body is now on its way from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall, where it is going to lie in state for the next 4 days. The public will be able to pay their last respects to the late Queen before her state funeral that takes place on Monday. And these are the pictures that will make the front pages of the papers tomorrow. King Charles with his sons Princes William and Prince Harry walking behind the Queen's coffin there in scenes reminiscent of the time that they walked behind Princess Diana's coffin all those years ago. This procession has just started a few minutes ago, and it will take about another 30 minutes to 35 minutes to reach Westminster Hall, where, as I said, the coffin will lie in state for the next few days. You can see thousands of people have lined up to pay their respects and to say goodbye in central London. These queues are running for miles. People have had to spend several hours waiting to get in line, and they will continue to do so over the next few days. My colleague Radhika Iyer is reporting live from London. And Radhika, of course, you can see that no one quite does ceremony the way the Brits do it. Take us through what is expected now.
Well, what a life the Queen had. At the age of 96, she passed peacefully at Balmoral, and what a send-off it's going to be. This is a procession that has just begun at 2:22 local time, and it takes this is under 2 miles, the journey from Buckingham Palace all the way to Westminster Hall. Let me show you scenes as I talk through these pictures that you're seeing both on your screen as well as from my relay, which shows thousands of people just waiting on Whitehall, where I am at the moment. This is the heart of the route. This is the second street just after the mall, where the procession will walk, will go through and reach all the way to Westminster Hall. Now, Westminster Hall is just across Westminster Abbey, a historic church where the Queen to Prince Philip, and she will be there for the final funeral, the state funeral, which will happen on the 19th of September. Until the next 4 days, over the next 4 days at Westminster Hall, where the Queen will lie in state, people will be allowed to pay their last respects. It is expected that a queue of up to 5 miles could run for people who are coming from various parts of the United Kingdom to pay their respects one last time to the Queen, who served them for 70 years during her reign. King Charles is, of course, leading the procession from just behind the coffin which is being carried, and his sons, Prince William as well as Harry, are at the moment just behind him. And like you said, Nidhi, just like how it was 25 years ago when Princess Diana died and the boys had to unfortunately become familiar with this exercise. This state funeral is going to be a global event, something that the send-off is expected to be something that people will remember for a long time, like they will with the Queen and the memories of her at public events. Over 100 state of heads are expected to attend this event. Invites have gone out to various countries, all nations from the United Kingdom, except Russia, Belarus, and some other nations which the UK doesn't share diplomatic ties with. Joe Biden will be here from the United States, along with his First Lady and many other state leaders, presidents of various nations. The European Council, France, will also be attending this funeral on 19th of September, Monday. The capacity of that hall itself is 2,000.
The President of India, Draupadi Murmu, in fact, the government has confirmed today she will be representing India at the Queen's state funeral on Monday. So President Murmu is going on India's behalf for the state funeral, where leaders from all over the world are expected to come on this coming Monday. And just to give you all a sense of this ceremony and this procession that's taking place, there are about 1,000 members of the armed forces that are taking part in this as well. They're wearing their ceremonial dress. As Radhika was also pointing out, you have King Charles, formerly Prince Charles, who's leading the procession, walking right behind his mother's coffin there, along with his siblings. Princes Andrew and Edward and Princess Anne are also there, walking behind the coffin. And then just behind them, Prince William now, the Prince of Wales, and Prince Harry. the Duke of Sussex also walking in that procession. Their wives, the Queen Consort Camilla, the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, they have all travelled by car to Westminster Hall. So they're not part of this procession. And as Radhika was pointing out, just the sheer number of people that have lined the streets of London to watch this procession is mind-boggling. There are hundreds of thousands of people who have lined up for this today. And over the next few days, authorities in London expect there to be similar massive crowds as people line up to pay their last respects at Westminster Hall. Radhika, coming back to you, on this, what then happens over the next few days? Is it the coffin lies in state, people come and pay their respects, but what is the king going to be doing at this time?
Well, he will be guarding the coffin. That is confirmed, that the king will be standing by, guarding the coffin, stand just next to the coffin, also receive condolence messages from people who won't be able to, of course, physically meet him. But he has been meeting people just outside palaces, wherever he's travelled to, whether Ireland or Buckingham Palace or Edinburgh. He has been collecting condolences messages, and we hear from sources in the royal family that he is feeling very comforted with the fact that people have come from far away to leave messages, greetings, t-shirts, family memorabilia, all in memory of the Queen, as well as flowers and so on. There are several people I have been chatting with over the last few hours. Many have come from various parts of the United Kingdom, and they're all hoping to, of course, pay their last respects. But the sheer attendance goes to show how much respect and love and fondness they had for the Queen. A lady who didn't want to be on camera by name Sally, she's a 76-year-old from Sussex, who has travelled here on train by herself. Is here because she feels that the Queen is somebody that she emulated during her life, because the Queen apparently gave her messages of stability. And in her personal life, whenever she went through ups and downs, she would always think of how the Queen would deal with it, and she dealt with it personally. So this, for many, is like a personal loss. Now, what's going to happen over the next couple of 4 days, actually, Nidhi, is that while the coffin is at Westminster Hall, which is again a very historic location in central London, people will be allowed to physically queue outside. Only a little bag is allowed. They are not allowed to either camp or stay in London. In fact, sleepers, gazebos, marquees are not allowed. So they will be actually standing through the night waiting for their chance to go into Westminster Hall. And with these kind of security arrangements that are in place, all of these ceremonies will take place, and it will go on till the 19th of September. And at 11 a.m. on the 19th, the final state funeral will begin.
Right. In fact, just some other interesting details, about this procession. I don't know if many people noticed, but one of the things that's standing out today is the fact that Prince Andrew and Prince Harry are not wearing their military uniforms, and there are different reasons for that. Prince Harry, of course, is no longer a working member of the royal family when he decided to step back with his wife a couple of years ago. And earlier today, his spokesperson said that his decade of military service is not determined by the uniform he wears, because the British newspapers were going to town with that headline, with the fact that he was not being given special permission to wear his military uniform. And Prince Andrew, of course, is also no longer a working royal. He lost all his military titles earlier this year after being accused in a sexual assault lawsuit in the US, which he settled and has also denied any wrongdoing. So that's just an interesting aside as to what is going on here. Radhika, an interesting thing you said is that one of the people you spoke to, one of the mourners, 76 years old, which means that she was 5 years old, around 5 years old when the Queen became Queen. So for a lot of people, she's the only monarch that they have known.
That's true. For many people I met just outside Buckingham Palace, the only monarch they have seen in their lifetime is Queen Elizabeth II. Many people, of course, said, there was one gentleman who mentioned to me that she's almost as if my mother has gone. For many, she is a grandmother figure. A lot of people shared those kind of lovely messages around how her sense of duty, her sense of service was unwavering. For many who are familiar with London, there are a few lines or one-liners in London which are very popular, and one of them is "keep calm and carry on." It comes from the Buckingham Palace. It comes because the Queen, according to many, just kept carrying on with her duty despite challenges. And we know that the royal family has had several instances of controversy through the last several years, but the Queen just kept carried on her duty. And so you see the sheer turnout of people, and I'm unable to interrupt them at the moment because they're waiting in procession, and we're not allowed to interrupt or ask questions. But I've been chatting with so many, and some of the statements are quite heartening to hear, given people here in Britain have had that kind of affection and love for the royal family. And over the last couple of years, or maybe 3 years, that connection has improved. And somebody actually told me that the Queen probably increased the likability factor towards the royal family during her reign.
Brought to you by The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you? Admissions now open. Fabers made in India auto clean chimney with 3D technology. KR Mangalam University, the complete world of education.
At Amity, we believe students should have an all-round exposure. The study abroad program gives students the option to do 5 weeks or more at any of the Amity campuses across the world in cities like New York, San Francisco, London, Melbourne, Dubai, Singapore, etc. A truly unique opportunity only at Amity.
जी
ये चिट्ठी है बेटा आपकी।
भैया, चिट्ठी आई है आपकी।
मैंने सुना है बेटा, जहाँ तू जा रहा है वहाँ तो ठंड ही बहुत है। क्या हुआ बेटा? है बेटा?
पंजाब सरकार की चिट्ठी है मम्मी। मेरी नौकरी लग गई, सरकारी नौकरी लग गई मम्मी।
सुनते हो? अपने छिंदे की सरकारी नौकरी लग गई। अब काम के लिए उसे प्रदेश में धक्के नहीं खाने पड़ेंगे।
जी हाँ, जो सालों में नहीं हुआ वो मुख्यमंत्री भगवंत मान और पंजाब सरकार ने कुछ महीनों में कर दिखाया। पंजाब में युवाओं के लिए लगभग 20,000 नौकरियों का ऐलान किया, जिसमें पंजाब पुलिस और अन्य सरकारी विभागों में नौकरियां दी गयी। अब हमारे पंजाब के बच्चों को विदेश जाने की जरूरत नहीं। हम 3 करोड़ पंजाबी मिलकर बनाएंगे अपने सपनों का पंजाब, एक रंगला पंजाब।
Aim right, achieve big. At KR Mangalam University, we provide you the platform to turn your dreams into reality. Give wings to your aspirations with KR Mangalam University.